All right. Gonna just shift that up a little more. Good. All right. Let's do this. We are getting back into the podcast, and today we are talking about building trust with yourself. Now, as we get into it, the thing I want to reinforce with you all is the goal of this show, as always, is to help athletes build their dream careers in sport. So as you tune in, make sure you're sharing this with an athlete you know, with a coach, with a friend, with a teammate, with somebody who is going to benefit from hearing this message. Because today's an important one. Today is one that I discovered a lot later in my not even athletic career, in my coaching career than I would have liked. But it's helped me tremendously over the last couple of years, and I know it is going to help you too. So let's get into it. We're talking about building trust with yourself, and we're talking about it in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Elite Development Podcast, the #1 show for athletes looking to gain an edge on their opponents and build their dream careers in sport. I'm your host, Kenny Dusseault, and today we are talking about building trust with yourself. Now, the reason that we're talking about this one today is because I recently had someone ask me, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, the first thing that I do every morning is I post a picture outside my balcony and then add the time to the picture, which is 4:30 a.m. Now, I've been doing this since January, and I have not missed a day. And I had someone ask me recently why I wake up as early as I do. And I want to preface this by saying, wake up at whatever fucking time you want to. I'm not here to tell you that you have to do this or anything like that, but this is what it's done for me. And you can start to find ways that you can do this for yourself as well. Now, I wake up at 4:30 every single morning for the plain and simple reason that I'm building trust with myself. I'm building trust with myself that when I make commitments to do difficult shit that I don't want to do, I follow through on. Now, the reason that I do this and the reason that this has helped me so much is because I've been doing a lot of work on myself over the last 2 years. If you've been following me online for a while, you know that over the last couple of years, my business has really blown up. I've been doing this for a very long time, but it's really gotten big over just the last 18 months or so. And I realized that through this whole journey, every time I start to see some kind of success, I would sabotage myself. And so over the past 18 months, while my business is growing and while I've been, feeling those overwhelming feelings of like, am I going to be able to handle this? Am I built for this? Is this going to all go away tomorrow? Like all of those kind of feelings associated with, something going your way when you haven't experienced that before. I started really doing internal work on me. And when I started doing the internal work on me, I realized that I would sabotage myself because for the longest time, I never believed this career was possible. I never believed that training athletes full time was a realistic thing for me to want to do. And I didn't realize this because literally everywhere I turned, I got told that it was a ridiculous idea, or I got asked what my plan B was in case this one didn't work out, or I got told that, I should go do something else. My parents convinced me that I should do a modern languages degree and become a teacher instead of pursuing sports studies, which is what I actually wanted to do. And I want to say with that as well, I understand that they pushed for that because they care about me and because they saw that as a better path. But, and for a lot of people, it would be, because the last 10 to 15 years of doing this for a living has been a difficult path to grow. This is not an easy career to make a living in. And so for a lot of people, taking the safe route and, becoming a teacher, doing all that would have been the good path. So I understand why people pushed me towards other directions, but that just wasn't right for me. And so through doing this internal work and through going to therapy, through really working on who I am as a person outside of just the business, I started understanding that for the longest time, I didn't see this career as real. I didn't see this career as something that I could actually do for a living. It was the passion project that like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I was able to make that work? And so as soon as things looked like they were working, I would sabotage it. I'd stop showing up the same way. I'd stop, pushing as hard. I'd stop posting on social media. I'd stop doing all the things that I knew got me the success I was starting to see. And subconsciously in my head, what I was saying was, well, it's going to all go away anyway. So now I have an excuse when it doesn't work. And so by setting these standards for myself, one of those standards being waking up at 4:30 every single morning, all I'm doing is I'm reinforcing with myself that when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And so what that leads to throughout my day, when I have important tasks that are going to help me either better deliver to my athletes, continue to grow my business, continue to lead my team, every single day when these things come up, I am the type of person that does what the fuck he says he's going to do. So it starts with that little bit of trust in the morning. And that is the number one reason why I wake up at 4:30 every morning. And what led me to want to do a talk about building trust with yourself. Because the things that this has led to within my business have honestly been incredible. Because every time something difficult comes up or every time an opportunity comes up, now I understand that I'm the type of person who is going to make things work. Because every morning I reinforce with myself when the alarm goes off and I don't want to get up, I reinforce with myself that I'm the type of person that does what the fuck he says he's going to do. Now, I started that commitment back in January because I truly started to gain clarity about exactly what I want out of my career. And so this is where I want you guys to start. If that resonated with you at all and you realize that, as soon as things start going well for you, you start to sabotage a little bit, remind yourself that as you grow, you need to be the person that is going to make it work. So as you continue to grow within your athletic career, you continue to compete against higher level talent, you continue to rise through the ranks, you need to become the person that deserves to be there. And so for me, when I thought about the goals and the vision I have for my career, the money I want to make, the athletes I want to impact, the coaches that I want to impact, the level I want to get to within my career, I realized that the person who makes it to that level is integral with their commitments. The person who makes it to that level, when he says, I'm going to do this, he does it. And so in order to, again, start to see myself as that person, there are commitments that I make every single day that I don't waver from. One of those is waking up at 4:30 every single morning. Now, what I really want you guys to take away from this, and this is going to be a shorter podcast, but what I want you guys to really take away from this is, in order to see the success you want to see, you need to see yourself as the person worthy of that success. Because I work with a lot of athletes, and I've seen a lot of athletes, and I've talked to a lot of athletes that love to talk the talk. They love to say that, they're going to be a world champion, they're going to make millions of dollars, they're going to be a pro, they're going to be this, they're going to be that. But then when it comes to those little integrity commitments within their day, they back off. Whether that's the training sessions that they say they're going to hit. Oh, I'm super tired from the last one, so I'm just going to skip today. Whether that's, starting to work on their mindset, whether that's making improvements to their nutrition, whether that's investing in coaches, mentors, etc. They love to talk the talk, but when it comes to actually walking the walk, doing the things that are going to put them at those higher levels, that's when they back down. And I've thought a lot about what causes that, and I realized that it's a huge factor is exactly what I've been talking about, building trust with yourself. When an athlete at a high level in a sport tells me that, they can't commit to a strength and conditioning program, whether that's financially, for time reasons, whatever else it might be, for the longest time, I just thought, oh, man, why don't they see what it can do for them? And then I realized that they do see what it can do for them, but they're scared to succeed. A lot of you guys are scared to succeed. You're scared that if you do all the right things, you might actually reach this level that forever has seemed impossible. And so you sabotage. You don't do the things you need to do to reach the level you want to reach. And so what I want to challenge you to do today is find that sabotage within yourself. Find that area in your life right now that you're not measuring up to the person you want to become. You're not measuring up to the athlete you want to become, to the level you want to get to. What are the guys at the level that you want to get to doing that you're not doing? What are the guys at the level you want to get to doing that you're not doing? What are they not doing that you still are doing? What can you change that is going to help put you at that level instead of keeping you stuck at the level you're at right now? And a lot of the time when I say stuff like that, people go straight to training. Oh, I need, an extra sparring day within my week. Oh, I need to, do 2 extra hours of training every week, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. And a lot of the time, guys, the difference between the UFC and slightly below or anything like that isn't a massive discrepancy in skill. But a lot of the time, it comes down to the little things outside of the gym. So again, the one thing that I started realizing about myself is that coming to the next level as a coach, coming to the next level as a leader, coming to the next level as someone who doesn't just own a business that's just him, but is actually building a team that's going to impact more people, coming to that level, the thing that I didn't have was trust in myself. I knew that my coaching was on point. I knew that I was getting good results for athletes, but I didn't believe in my ability to lead a team. I didn't believe in my ability to make a larger impact. So what I had to start doing was I had to start stacking little wins. I had to start building the trust that I am the kind of person that does what he says he's going to do when he says he's going to do it. So the first thing I did was I picked a wake up time that was early enough that it was painful. And then I forced myself to never hit the snooze button and just get up when that alarm goes off. And there are days too that, I will wake up, I will do my whole morning routine at 4:30, and I will take a nap during the day because I didn't get any sleep the night before. But the commitment of waking up at 4:30 in the morning stays true. And that's what I want you guys to start thinking about, is what area are you negating those commitments? What area are you not keeping to those commitments? And what area do you lack in order to reach the level that you want to reach? I can almost promise you, if you're listening to this and you care enough about your career that you're doing little things like this, tuning into podcasts like this to help yourself get better, the chances are the area you're lacking is not in the amount of time you're training. So start looking at those other areas. When you are sitting alone, looking in the mirror, talking to yourself, do you talk the same way as when you're around all your teammates? Do you still say, yeah, I'm going to make it all the way. I'm going to be a pro. I'm going to be this. Or does the self-doubt start to creep in? Because if the self-doubt starts to creep in, this is the kind of thing that you need. You need something every day that allows you to build the trust with yourself that you can be the person that you say you want to be. Whether that's picking an early wake-up time and sticking to it every single day, no matter what, whether that's a task outside of training that you're going to start doing and you're going to start staying consistent with, whether that's something in your workday, start stacking those little wins, start building the trust that you are the person you say you want to be. And I promise you, it is going to start coming through in your training. It is going to start coming through in your competitions, and you're going to start seeing the results that show you that you can be the person that you say you want to be. Guys, I appreciate you for tuning in. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. As always, my big ask of you is if you got value from the show today, share it with a friend, share it with a teammate, share it with someone who's going to benefit from hearing this message. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Appreciate you all for tuning in. I'm just going to exit out of the stream.